finally back from Austin. So there are quite a few stories on how Rabbit lost his tail. This one is one of my favorites because, well, right now it's really what my family's gone through. So please share to keep these stories alive. Once when the world was younger, Rabbit loved to be the center of attention. He also enjoyed creating a bit of mischief here and there. See, in the old days, Rabbit used to have this long, fluffy tail, kind of like a long-haired cat, all white underneath and nice and silver on top, and he was such a troublemaker. And although the animals knew he was a troublemaker, well, it was always nice to hear a little bit of gossip. And Rabbit loved to share that gossip. And he learned over time how to get really good at it. So he would spread rumors anytime that he could. Oh, well, you know, Raven said about Skunk. Oh, well, you know, Fox said about Hawk. Oh, you wouldn't believe what the squirrels are up to. Let me just tell you. And the animals would listen because it was entertaining. They would get their honor up, and how could Hawk say that? I couldn't believe Squirrel would do such a thing. Did you hear about what Badger did? It's just terrible. And Rabbit really enjoyed this mischief. Well, it got to the point that rumors began to fly like arrows in wartime. And it began to create great conflict amongst the animals. Because, see, some of them didn't really have the courage to go to who they thought the accuser was and say, hey, did you say this about me? What are you doing talking behind my back? No, sometimes they would just hold it inside. Others that had a little bit more courage would indeed go. Only they wouldn't go with curiosity and questions and say, hey, I really don't want to believe this is true, that you said this or did this, but I heard that you did, so I'd like a few answers. No, they would go with anger. How dare you say such things? How dare you talk bad about me? You don't know what you're talking about. And many times the other animal would be like, I didn't say that. That wasn't me. I would never say it. I heard you. And then it would become a fight. It would become a huge conflict. Because no, you've got to be lying, right? Because I heard. And so many times, nobody would ask, where did you hear that from? No. They would just assume that for sure, Hawk was the one that said it. No, for sure, Badger was the one that said it. No, it absolutely was Raven. No questions asked. Oh, the dissent it caused was massive. The mischief it caused was massive. And Rabbit would laugh and laugh and laugh. And it's not like any of the animals would tell Rabbit, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want that. No, take that away. No, they would listen. And they would get all fluffed up in their outrage, and sometimes they'd immediately go do something about it. Sometimes they'd sit on it for a while and then go pop. Well, one day, Rabbit went too far. Started spreading some rumors and some gossip about Bear. And we all know Bear doesn't play around. And he had said this nasty little rumor to Wolf, and Wolf, he sat on it for a while because nobody really wants to confront Bear. But then the other animals started coming to him. I can't believe what Bear said about you. That's just so terrible, Wolf. Like, you poor thing. And Wolf finally couldn't take it anymore. So he went to Bear and accused Bear. And Bear sits up and goes, you would believe something like this about me? How dare you? And you're not coming to me asking if I said this. You are telling me I said this. Oh, how dare you? And Wolf got scared. And he ran away whimpering. Oh, he angered Bear. This was not good to anger Bear. Oh, but Bear was angered. Oh, and he sat in his anger, and he growled, and he growled, and he growled, and finally, no, I'm going to do something about this. So he went and tracked Wolf down at his den, confronted Wolf. You said that I said this about you, and I am not okay with this. Who told you? Rabbit. Rabbit told me, but he said he was doing it so that I could protect myself, that he was worried about me, that you were saying such things about me, and he was just offering a kindness so that I could keep myself safe. Oh, Rabbit did. And Bear noticed all these rumors and all these fights amongst all the animals. So he began to going to the animals and saying, hey, Hawk, where did you hear this? What Skunk said about you? Well, Rabbit told me. Oh, Rabbit, okay, that's twice now. Okay. And then he'd go to Raven. Raven, so I heard that Badger was saying that you did some nasty things to him. How did you find out about this? Oh, well, Rabbit was concerned about my well-being, so Rabbit came to me and told me. Rabbit again, huh? Okay. And every animal he went to, Rabbit always seemed to be at the center, so Bear got an idea because he knew that peace in his home was more important than all this going on. So he called an animal meeting. And when Bear called a meeting, you went. So all the animals gathered. Rabbit came too. He had no idea what the meeting was about. He thought for sure it was preparing for winter. And he comes bouncing in. Well, the meeting had already begun by the time he got there. Bear had already made it known. It seems to be that at the center of all of this is a Rabbit telling stories under the guise of helping or being kind or supportive, or warning or some such thing. So when Rabbit hopped in all happy, well, lo and behold, all the animals seemed to be looking at him in not a kind way. And he grew very uncomfortable and tried to dart away, and Bear put his big paw right down on his long tail, and Rabbit was trapped. Oh, and all the animals began to go at Rabbit. You said, he said, you said, she said, you said, and oh, it got loud. And it got angry. Porcupine rattling his quills, Raven crackling her beak. Rabbit got so uncomfortable and so scared because he didn't know what to say. Oh, no, I did hear from Hawk. Hawk was the one that told me. No, I wasn't. No, I didn't. I would never say such a thing. You made that up. So uncomfortable Rabbit became, so upset Rabbit became that he began to pull at his tail trapped under Bear's foot. But Bear would not let him go because no, Bear would say, no, you must stand in accord for the pain and the conflict and the suffering and the fighting that you have created. You must pay your consequences. Oh, but Rabbit didn't want to wait around for the consequences. So he pulled and he pulled and he pulled, and finally he pulled so hard that pop, there went his tail. And he went bounding away as fast as he could to go hide in his shame in his burrow and left his tail there. All the animals were shocked. What just happened? He wanted to get away from his wrongdoing so badly he left his tail there right under Bear's foot. Oh. But Bear raised his other paw, said, wait, as the animals roared in their upset, their anger, and their horror. Wait, I believe in natural consequences. We were deciding what consequences Rabbit was going to pay. And he picked up Rabbit's tail and said, would you all agree that just our knowing about Rabbit, and now we know not to listen to the tales of Rabbit, for his tail is right here. Can we all come into agreement that this is enough? And that we, from now on, will learn that when we hear something, we will go and ask questions before we assume the truth of anything we have no proof for. Oh, the animals hung their head in shame because they realized this wasn't all Rabbit's doing. This was also how they chose to respond, how they went about it, and how each and every one of them had created conflict and fights on words alone with no proof. So they all shook their heads and agreed. And from this moment forward, there was peace in the animal kingdom, because they all learned the hard way, and at the end of the day, nobody wanted to lose their tail over a false tail. Oh, yeah, this is what my family's going through right now. It's not easy to go to speak to someone that you heard said or did something and go to with curiosity, because we're all offended. We're hurt. And hurt begets hurt. And so many of us do not sit with that hurt and wonder why it is we're feeling it. Why it is we are so bothered by somebody saying or thinking something that we don't agree with. My kids are going through this at school. Ugly rumors flying back and forth. And when you don't know the source of it, it can make you feel very helpless and very hurt. It can make you very uncomfortable in your own skin, wondering what others might be thinking of you and saying of you. At the end of the day, unless we can go to the source and ask and question, sometimes there's really nothing we can do about rumors. But the more we put power into it, the more we create conflict within ourselves and within our family and community. See, it can be solved when we, like Bear, can stand so firmly in knowing who we are, knowing what we said, knowing what we did, that you can say whatever the heck you want to say about me. I know my worth. I know who I am. I know my value, and I know the truth, and I am letting that be enough. It's not easy, but it is a very sound and wise path forward. And the other part of it is, if there is rumor and gossip coming to you from someone else, you have the choice to stop it right there, even if it's really interesting and really juicy. And you sure as heck have the choice to not pass it on. Because rumors are sickness. And when you choose to pass on that rumor with no proof, no validation from the accused, you are choosing to spread that sickness. And more than just the person who the rumor or the gossip is about can be hurt in that. Their friends, their family, their children, their brothers, sisters, their spouses, their co-workers, many, many people can be hurt. And it does come down to, if you are the link in the chain that causes that chain to end, then you have power there and you have strength. So I would encourage you, when you find yourself in this situation, to make that choice and let it end with you. Much love, relatives. Don't lose your tail to a bad tale. Have a beautiful day.